Welcome to IS250. I'm Professor Fahmi Jalani. Today we'll be talking about Chapter 6, UD Define. Let's jump through it. So, today we'll be talking about user-defined methods. And here we see the example here. Basically, in any program, you can perform the same operation repeatedly, and sometimes it will cause some confusion. In this case, you see on the main program here, we have C1, C2, C3 having the same function, but apparently there's an error there. Okay, to prevent this error, we have a function called method, where FC2 here. Okay, and in the main program, it's being called each time. This is basically much simpler. And this reduce the redundancy and making the program less complicated, and hence making it more dynamic and easily to understand and concise. So, so the basic method here, in this case, the program is a pizza area. Okay, method is definition consists basically the method's name, a block statement, in this case pizza area. Okay, public static void pizza area. Okay, curly bracket within. Okay, and the method call is an invocation of the method name, and a block is a list of statement surrounded by the braces. Okay, print pizza area. Okay, so in this case, the program name will call print pizza area, where pizza area here is basically the multiplication of in this case 12 diameter, and here it's been declared as 12 and divided by 2. Okay, and so the pizza diameter is 12. Okay, inch pizza is pizza area, which is this. Okay, and together with the last statement, inches squared. Right, next we take a look at parameters. Same example, the pizza here is being called, where the user declare two parameters, in this case 12 and 16. Okay, so an argument is a value provided to the method during the method call. This is basically the argument, right? And the value is being inserted inside. So in this case 12 inch pizza is 113 inches squared, and 16 inch pizza is 201 inches squared, right? So in this case, once the program has executed the first statement, it will delete the parameters from the memory prior executing the next argument. Next, we take a look at multiple or no parameters. The same example, we have the pizza, okay, and it's separated by commas. Okay, the first argument is being called, followed by the second argument. So here we have 12 by 0.3 inch, and the pizza is 33 point. inches cube. Right, this is basically the volume. Right. Next, we take a look at return. Returning a value from a method. Basically, a method may return one value using a return statement. Okay, over here. Right. Here, the program compute square is defined to have a return type of integer. Right. So in this case, in the main program, you declare integer squared, and 7 squared is integer squared, where integer squared is being called, the argument is being passed through the method, and the method returns a value to the statement here. Okay, this is 49. 6.3, this is just for your information. Reason for defining, pretty much we covered it just now. We explained to you. If you look at this is basically to improve readability, to organize your program more easy to understand and readable. So at the same time is the programmer to find any errors or any mistake. If you look at the yellow statement here, it's pretty much the same. Okay, here, where over here there's a method that being used as compared to here. Right. 6.4 is basically branches and loops. Here is basically an auction fee, where the if statement else is being used, and in this case, if you can see, you have to enter the item selling price. Example, to give example, in this case 9.95, and from there it calls. Okay, there's an if statement to look at it first, the method here, and that's my cursor here. Alright, and in this case 9.95, and it will compute per 50 or less 0.3 times, which is this. Okay, right, and it will return the value to here. Right, if we thought. So next, take a look at 6.6, how method works. So basically, each method calls creates a new set of local variables, forming part of what basically is a stack frame. In this case, if you look at here, from the main program, okay, the integer been declared here, followed by, okay, the method. Okay, this is basically the second method, inch, feet inch, inches, cm, and also by the second method here. Okay, here we have two example method, a double and an integer. Right. Method name overloading. So sometimes a program has two methods with the same name but differing to the number of types of parameter, which is method overloading or just method overloading. So this is basically example of day, month, and year, where the first example we have integer being declared, being used, integer. Okay, right, and if we print it out in this form, the second one is have string, integer, string, and integer. Right. So there's two different methods. Okay, here, two methods. 612, using scanner in method, apologize, it's a bit too small for this. Basically passing scanner to method. So in this case, you still need the scanner function, right? You import, and over here, basically, the user requires an input, in this case 12. Okay, and from there it will be passed into the method, and sorry, for here. Okay, and it's being computed, and the value will be passed into, okay, the printout statement. Okay, next we take at perfect size array. Okay, perfect size array is basically an array where number of element is exactly equal to the memory allocated. In this case, maximum temperature. Okay, with 7 integer. So over here we have array length, right, which is 7. So it's been listed out here, and at the last stack we have the total, which is 7. Okay, with oops, which is the first, from the first index point 315 over here. Okay, next we have oversized array. Okay, oversized array, array where the number of elements used is less than or equal to the memory allocated. So in this case, you do not know what's the total or actual array size. Okay, and in this example, okay, you declare it as 5. Okay, but as you compute the program, okay, we have milk, oranges, and apples, and from the beginning here, index 926. In total, we have just 3. Okay. Method with oversized array 615. Okay. When oversized array are passed to a method, two parameters are needed. Basically, both the array reference and the current size. So in this case, you use a for loop. Okay. Print oversized array method. Okay. And uses array size. Okay. And array size, sorry, array reference index printed out. Okay, so it will compute as long as the maximum, correct? 616. Comparing perfect and oversized, we saw the example previously, where perfect array is, you know the number of element, and oversized array, you do not know the size. Okay, so, and here we see the requirement. So method signature can tell a programmer whether a perfect size or oversized array is expected. And a method that expect a perfect size array as an argument will have one parameter or array reference, but no parameter for the array size. Okay. So we will see example in the lab later on. Okay. See, next 617, using references in method. Okay. So storage of primitive data and arrays are basically a method used just like integer, okay, and double values. So our arrays stores, okay, the value in the memory, right? Here we have integer 2 years old is equal to 0 here, and from there we have 122 is the value, and the initial is 85. So in total we have 3 lengths, okay. And lastly 618, returning array from method. It's quite complicated if you see. So basically array can be constructed within the method. So if an array needs to be used after the method returns, the array reference can be returned. Okay, when an array reference is returned from the method, okay, nothing else can be returned because the method can return at most one item. Okay, so in this case we have integer 5, 16, 9 over here, and from previous example we have the initial 81 uniform size. Okay, and from the index we have 3 lengths, and the statement will print out misses 5, 16 and 9, okay, from the source, right? So that's pretty much it for arrays. If you have any question, please feel free to email me, and stay safe. Don't forget to wear a mask and social distance. Bye bye.